What's going on, everybody? Israel here from Metalore. I hope you guys are doing great out there. And as you can see, today I'm in my IRL, in real life, avatar, real world, real life, etc. But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to go into the metaverse and kind of give you a first tour of what you should be doing when you go into the metaverse, settings that you should be setting and changes that you should be configuring, as well as some etiquette and changes on a lot. So let's go ahead and go into the metaverse. Okay, so here is your entry when you go into Altspace VR. And if you notice that we're using a different avatar, it's because we're using a pseudo avatar that records us. All that really means is you create another avatar, you use it on another device, and you can use that like a webcam in Metaverse to record yourself. So when I'm recording my Metaverse avatar within the world, then I can have this one here called City Nights Bot Cam record me, and I can put the output to social media in IRL. So the first thing you want to do when you go in here is understand that any world that you go to has an environmental audio. All that really means is there's different types of audios. There's your verbal audio and then environmental, meaning background music and anything that's going on in that world. A lot of people go into these worlds and the music is so loud you cannot hear each other talk. It's like walking into a room where the music is cranked so high. So the first thing you want to do when you first go into here is go to your main menu. And let me walk into this screen right here. And in your main menu, the first thing you want to do is go to your settings, which are going to be on the right side. You're going to go into audio. Now, this is where I'm going to take you through what you need to do. Your background music, background sound should be a 2 or a 1, because this is the background sound. This is music. If you were going to be walking into a nightclub, you and I could not have a conversation because the music is too loud. So I would bring it down to a 2 so you can still hear some background music. Some places are blaring so bad, even 1 is a good environmental. Some people like 3. I would just say keep it on 2 or 1. So to be on the safe side, do that. Effects module volume. It's going to be if there's fireworks and other things in the world, those will pop really loud and you might get sort of affected by the noise, so you can turn that down. UI volume is when you're moving your controller, you'll hear the ding, ding, ding. All that really means is the volume control of your devices. You can bring those down as well. Voice volume, we always keep it high, so when you are interacting or talking to somebody, you can hear their speech back and forth. So this is what I would start with right in the beginning. Second thing you want to do when you're in general and you're just starting out is when you go to general, your online status is key. Maybe you're one of those private persons that do not like people to follow you, and I'll be taking you to that in a minute to show you what that is all about. As a matter of fact, let me turn on my Oculus back here so you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so we're just waiting on that to boot up. But one of the biggest things that you want to make sure you do is if you don't want people to find you and you don't really want that acknowledgement, you can always switch your availability to do not disturb. And on the friends list, it'll show do not disturb, so nobody's going to bother you. If you don't want to be seen at all, just appear offline, and that's never going to show anybody that you're online. Now, that also works in 2 ways. If you are going to get messages where people want to invite you someplace, you're not going to get those messages because you're offline. You will see them when you go back online. So that is your choice. One of the most important things to do is enable Worlds Beta. Without enabling Worlds Beta, you will never see any worlds available to you. You'll just see Altspace events and Altspace created worlds. You'll never see user-created worlds, which is the reason why we're all in here. We want to experience each other's worlds. So those are 2 major things you should be doing is your audio first, and then enabling Worlds Beta. Those are important things. Another thing is I'll be walking you through your menu in a minute about personal space bubbles, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then as far as your comfort zone, if you get dizzy too much, you can change this here, your turning, to smooth. You can also change it to different snap 80. So if you get dizzy when it's moving slowly, it'll do a 180. So turn speed also you can change. So the slower the turn speed, so it doesn't look too fast for you, you get dizzy. So you could slow down the turn speed. Those are important as well. Let's go down the list on display here, just kind of give you an idea. If when you're in a world everything looks choppy, that might be because your internet is slow or your throughput is just not working well with that world. So you can lower it by dropping the high quality video to low, which will actually help worlds load quicker, as well as changing your resolution. If you go left, it gets smaller. If you go to right, it goes bigger. So drop the window down a little bit lower to 30 hertz versus 60 hertz, then it won't be so big and heavy, and then you can maneuver in those worlds a lot better and a lot faster. Items really that have is called Jimmy Cams. Jimmy Cam, all that really activates is a camera in front of your avatar. So it looks like a field of view if you were taking a picture of a camera. The only reason why that's usable is if you're using avatars like mine to record a venue or an event, and then you just have an avatar sitting in the corner recording the whole thing but never engaging with anybody, because you cannot engage if you have the Jimmy Cam turned on. Another thing you'll probably want to go into is let me go back to our account. And I'm actually going to switch accounts only so you can see something that that I sort of want to share with you in regards to the users online, etc. So in a second, my avatar will change, looking like my real avatar here with a blue hair. So you'll see my Israeli account pop in. Here it is. And there is me, glasses, hair, jacket, sweatshirt. So you can see that. Now, multiple accounts can be usable for different things. Maybe you have different worlds. Maybe you have different avatars for different behaviors. You have a fun avatar. You have a work avatar. You can just create a new email address with Microsoft, which allows you to have multiple avatars. I do it for the purpose of if I'm talking in my Oculus, my other avatar is recording me in real world for social media events. So let's go down to my main menu. And I want to show you something here on the friends list on the right-hand side. So on my friends list right here, as you can see, everybody that's online. When you're looking at friends, let me see if I can move this screen a little bit better. So let me go over to worlds. It's really not going to do much. Okay, so basically what I wanted to show you is we're going to talk about friends for a minute, and then we kind of will go into other features that I want to show you about. So when you have friends and how do you add a friend, you technically, anytime you see somebody come up at you, you put your pointer stick, just like so on your right hand, put your pointer stick, and you're going to use the right shooter. As a matter of fact, let me switch screens on that really quick, because I do want to show you that on the big screen. So let me switch back to those overhead. Okay, I'm back here. So you have two controls, and these shooters are basically how you select things. You want to shoot like this, boom. That's how you select something. If somebody says point at something, you're going to go click top control trigger here. This trigger will make you run faster. So if you need to move across an area and it's taking a long time, hold it down while you move the joystick forward. That's how you move. So left here, move forward and back. That's how that. This one here on the right, it's going to move you around in circles. So if you're turning around like I am like this joystick on top will move you up, down, sideways, etc. And then this one is just moving you forward and back, and then speed on that. The bottom triggers are like your hands to grab something. If you're going to pick up like a cup of coffee, right, or your cell phone in the metaverse, you hold the bottom one by pointing at something, and while you're holding it, you're dragging it with you. If you're dragging a rope, you're pulling it back. If you're picking up a coin, you again are holding the bottom one and picking it up. If you're throwing a cow, and yes, there's a tipping cow world where you could tip a cow, you grab the cow like this and you toss it. When you let it go, just like in a basketball or a tipping cow, you're grabbing it with the bottom, you're throwing and releasing, and that's how you do it. It's kind of like a fishing game. On this controller on the right side, there is a B, very important. B is sort of your transport. In other words, if I'm going to move forward, and I don't have to just walk, I can take the B, hold it down, and it's going to show an arc with a blue line. All that really means is when I'm moving forward, I can let it go, and it transports me to that spot wherever I go. There's areas you cannot walk, which will turn red, and there's areas that will turn on blue that you can move forward to. That's that one. And then A is more of like a trigger selection. I select something, click, I can do that. When you are in your control, wherever you are, if you get stuck in a world, you can just tap the flat oculus button, as I do right here. If you tap it once and you get stuck in a world, tap it once and the bottom menu of Oculus will come up, and just hit quit Altspace and then get back into Altspace again. That's a lifesaver because there's so many times where worlds will freeze and there's nothing you can do about it except you are just stuck. So we're going to go back into our screen in Metaverse. So I know a couple of my friends that should be online right now. I want to see where they're at. So any friend that you have on here, you can see what they're up to because they're online. For example, the sweetest thing is testing a world right now. DJ Subtle is in Subtle's home. Jordy's cat is Captain, Noir. So a lot of these people are in different spaces. Now, this is also how you can tell where most of your friends, if they're in a club that's very popular or there's an event going on you're missing out on, you'll notice that when you're going up, there might be an event that everybody's at, and you probably want to be part of that. But if you go down your list and you see your friends in here, you can actually go and hang out. Like right now, everybody seems to be at the Alt Beauty pageant. And that's probably something that we want to go check out. So one of the things that you want to do when you go to places like that, or when you want to follow one, is you can actually click on the name and hit go to. When you hit go to, that's going to go there. So if you got lost and your friend went somewhere else, you can do that. In the same token, if you want to invite somebody to come to you and you're in a world that you think they should be in, you're going to hit message. You're going to get this. Now, if I was in a world right now, I would get into another menu here that would actually say, come visit me. Or you can just say hello to your friends. So let's do that. Let's go to a world. I'm curious about what the pageant's all about. So let's go to the pageant. So as it's loading, I'm going to pretend that I'm going to invite somebody into the pageant. And this every single world's about 30, 40 megs. So it takes a while. Higher resolution like Ryu's Mansion, things like that, Ryu's Gallery are going to take more like 100 megs. Depending on your internet, that could be up to 3 minutes. Anything more than that, Altspace will time out and kick you out. And by then, your internet's just too slow. So I am now in a world, which is a beauty pageant. So let me kind of get rid of that screen right there. So this is part of the beauty pageant. People are just kind of hanging out. There's people going down the runway. I'm just going to look around the room really quick, make sure nobody's near me. And I'm just going to stay over here to talk to you guys. So this is where we spawn in, and we can go on stage. Now, I'm muted, and that's an etiquette of every room you go into. The top button right here is a red button. You always want to keep it red because that shows you are muted. This person right here is basically thinking I'm talking to them because my chat bot is saying that I am talking out loud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here to a corner away from them so I could just talk to you guys. And so I can kind of see what's going on. There's a pageant. It looks like there's a runway going on. And for me, this is the menu that you kind of want to always be aware of. As long as your microphone is turned off, this is great. Now, on the right side are the tools that the room gives you. In other words, you can raise your hand if you have a question, or in that side of the menu on the right side here, it'll kind of give you different things you can do. Sometimes they let you fly, sometimes they let you clap. all of that. If you want to show some love, you can actually click this little happy face, and you'll get this menu right in the center. And you can just start clicking the love, and above your head, you will get a bunch of little hearts showing up. You can also applaud, you can be sad, you can do happy faces. So that's how you show love to the world. That's very important right there. Now, if you feel that people are bothering you, or this is just too much, maybe the graphics are getting to you, you want to hit this personal bubble. Maybe somebody is harassing you. Just click the personal bubble. What personal bubble is going to do is it's actually going to put you in a space where people can't see you. You are invisible to them. And having that personal bubble up means just that. My personal bubble is on and nobody can see me. I'm invisible. They think I'm gone. And this way, nobody can bother me. Nobody can even know that I'm stalking them if I was stalking them. And that's not what we're trying to do with a personal bubble. It's just keeping you away from everybody. If you like what you see here, you can do a selfie. So you can move your camera around, and then when you get a selfie, it'll take a picture of you. You could do, a selfie with your friends. It'll take a picture, and then it'll show you a picture of yourself standing there in a selfie. And so that's what that one's about. If you want to take a picture of the event, there's a camera icon, and my selfie hasn't gone away, so there it goes. Let's do it one more time. I can take a picture of the event. Looks like it's a little bit of a delay. There we go. And then it'll show me the picture. Now, all of these are saved to your Altspace account, so you can actually view these in the Altspace website under Photos. So that's something you can do. This one here takes you back to the title screen, to the main menu. So if you go there, it just gets out of this world. Now, if you want to favorite this world or know where you are, maybe you forgot, you can click this menu right here, and it's going to show you where you're at. Maybe somewhere that you want to visit again. So you want to basically go here. You can rate it. You can enter it. But if you go to more options, you can then share the world, report the world, etc. Now, this world here does not allow me to favorite because it looks like it's an event. And the event only lasts today from 5:15 to 7:15. So I can't favor an event because it will disappear after the time's up. If it's a world, it'll have a favorite instead of rate, and I can basically save it as the world. But as you can see on here, there's 45 people in this event happening right now. So let's get into that portion right now. So when you first come into Altspace, I always suggest the first thing you want to do is you can check out the events that are happening right now. They'll go by date, and it'll go by popularity. So these are the events that are happening right now that they suggest you should be part of. The more you are in the events, the more that you'll get invited to certain ones. So for example, on mine, if I go to Discover, it'll show me what the popular events are happening right now. Obviously, this one is very popular. The mindful meditation is a popular one for me because I signed up for something like that, and so on and so on. But the way I always do it is I go to worlds. That's the first thing I do. And the first thing I do is I go to popular worlds. Then I can see what's going on. It's because it changes by hour because of all the different things. Obviously, there's 10 people at the Mall of the Metaverse. Usually if I see 30, 40 people, I go check it out. Darren's Portal is important. 3D movies are what's happening right now. The Shroom Room is always busy. I don't know why, but it's always busy. You guys know what's up. And then Ryu's Mansion is definitely happening and popping. So these are the things that you can go to. Now, when you go to your favorites, when you favorite something, these are the worlds that you favored that you can go back into. Cow tipping was one of them that I suggest you guys go to. That's hilarious. And Adventureland is pretty funny. And if you don't fear heights, Daisy's Plank is definitely one that you should check out. That's a great one. And never fail to go check out Mall of the Metaverse. That's a good one. My Worlds is basically as such. When you create a world, these are your personal worlds that you've created. Now, if some of them are shared with you by other creators and you save them as your worlds, maybe they shared something with you that you can use as your own, they become your worlds. So this is why you see some that I would have not created myself, but people have shared with me that I can use as a template, but that's a video for another day. So If there's a big festival going on, like we had the Burning Man last year, you go to festivals, and this is where you would see what festivals are happening. We don't really have anything for 2022 just yet, but once they come up, usually the festivals are 3 to 4 days long, and they become a festival versus an event. This is very important. When people click you, like they got a gun, let me pull up my controller again. When somebody pulls up a controller and then you point at a person, you're going to see their name on top of their head. And what it'll say is it'll say their name, and then it'll give you options. An example, it might show you a person and who they are, and if you want to add them as a friend, block them as a friend, or if they are your friend, to remove them as a friend. So why I'm showing you this is because a lot of people will do that to you. They want to be your friend right away. You have a limited time to accept, otherwise the friendship request disappears. But if you did not go to request, or if you didn't never got to the request and somebody did request you wanted to be friends with, you can go under requests. If you were busy performing or doing something else, like myself as a DJ, then what you want to do is later go into your requests. If your friends' requests are here, you can accept them or block them or deny the request. And those are ones. Now, if you want to see who friends are in this party right now, I can see who's here. And if I go and, I got to talk to Spicy, I can send them a message, or Liv, or these people, and start a conversation with them, like City Girl. But City Girl is sort of hosting this right now, so we're not going to bother her right now, and so on and so on. So you can kind of see who's here as far as your friends, kind of looking at that. If you have anybody you've blocked that you want to remove from the block, you can go here. But this request is most important, especially if somebody says, I sent you a request, didn't you accept it? You can go here, but you can also do it in the Altspace website as well. Now, when it comes to maybe you want to change your avatar on the fly, you can just go to your Me icon and then customize your avatar. Now, for me, I ended up going in reverse. I created an avatar, but then I created a real world avatar to match that guy. So I kind of went in reverse. And just because I want to be consistent, people will know you by what you look like. And if you keep changing your appearance, they might not recognize you unless they click on your name all the time and go, oh, wait, you're his radio? Because yesterday you had blue hair and now it's pink. So that's consistency of making sure that your avatar looks to what you want it to look like, and it can change anytime. Again, going back to the settings, we were just going back into that. If you need to get out of this and you're just done, just go to hit exit, and exit will actually close the game for you. You can also hold your Oculus button, as I stated, on the right finger, tap it once, and then you can exit Altspace completely. But if you needed to get out of that, that's good. Now, I'm going to show you one other trick that's very important. If you were in this world and you heard no music, or you didn't see the stage and it's just not working right for you, that means that you're in a glitch type of space. And all that really means is you just need to re-enter the room to get the graphics and the audio. So the best thing to do is, what you're going to do is you're going to hit your little "You Are Here" button on the bottom left. And then you're just going to re-enter the room. That's all you're going to do, is you're just going to hit enter again. It kicks you out of the room and brings you back in, and hopefully fixes those issues that you had when you were in there. I've had that happen at my nightclub, where people are like, I can't hear the music, or I can't see the bar, and others can. So I just tell them to exit, come back in, and that helps reset that world for you, so you can basically see what you need to see. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you in here, let me go back to me for a second, is your gallery is going to be where you take your photos. So I'm going to click on that, because I did state to you that you'll see them on Altspace website, which you will, but you can also see them in here in your gallery. And if you wanted to share one with someone, you can click on the photo and just hit share. But you can see here in the photos the pictures that I had taken while in Altspace. So we're going through. There's my friend Mel that we have in here. Some of the things that we did, banners for the show that we were doing at the nightclub. Some of these could be photos that you took on your computer and you brought into Altspace because you wanted to do that. So here's actually my friend Mel, you know, asking where I'm at, and I'm gonna send her a message, and I'm just gonna say by the entrance, uh, recording a video, and I just put for you. Oh, wow. So now you guys can see I was actually recording this video for everybody, but I'm actually including her in that. Now, when you have the menu up for users like you and I, they won't see you. If your menu's up, you're kind of like in a suspended animation state. So when I get rid of the menu, she'll be able to see me. And obviously, I'm still talking to you guys, so I don't want to do that just yet. But once I close this, then I can do that. Now, let me take you to one more spot. Home space right here is going to be where your home is. When you first create Altspace, you're going to have a home that Altspace gives you. For me, it's called Vista. And then I created a second one called Screen Door Effect Home Space. I have two worlds. These are the ones that your friends can come and hang out with you. This is your private space. And anyway, so in regards to that, those spaces can be changed, modified, but I'll do another video on that. Today, I just wanted to show you the menu, and I wanted to show you what it was all about. And then the next video will be more on how to customize your own worlds within Altspace website. Okay, guys, enjoy the videos, share it, follow it. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it on the comments. I'm happy to help in sort of morph the real world or IRL and Metaverse together. And hopefully you have an amazing experience, as all my friends have here that, as you can see, have been sending me messages and asking me where I am. So I will see you guys on the next one.